Tonight, a 7 News investigation reveals a controversial order from the Department of Health.
A former investigator says he was told, do not cooperate with other agencies on criminal cases. Investigative reporter Carmel is on the case.
Christopher Knox was an investigator for the Department of Health in Miami-Dade. He says he did his job too well and was fired.
The Department of Health has basically just failed in its mission to protect the citizens of Florida.
Frank Figueroa was his boss. He says he resigned rather than get fired for backing Knox.
Chris was always dead on. We called him McGruff the crime dog. That was his internal name, McGruff. So anytime McGruff went snooping, he found.
One of the last cases Knox worked was a pharmacy, more on drug and discount on Southwest 8th Street in Miami.
I independently developed some information that a drug trafficking organization had been creating counterfeit oxycodone prescriptions.
5 is Oneida Mercado Sanchez.
He gave the information to police, and as a result, pharmacist Oneida Mercado Sanchez and owner William Claro were arrested and charged with trafficking. Their cases are currently moving through the courts. According to the arrest report, they were responsible for fraudulent prescriptions for more than 100,000 oxycodone pills. But Knox says he was ordered not to cooperate with law enforcement on that case or any other. But if you're acting in a regulatory capacity and you find evidence of a criminal activity, isn't that an obligation for you to turn it over to law enforcement?
Absolutely. That is in the Department of Health manual.
And that's what you've been told not to do?
And that's what I've been told not to do.
Knox says he was sent this email. It's from an area supervisor with copies to top brass in Tallahassee. In part, it reads, "You are to stop all communication with the state attorney office. We do not take direction from the state attorney's office or law enforcement."
To my knowledge, I was the only person that had received a order or a memo like this, and I basically deemed this to be an illegal order.
Both Knox and Figueroa say the order delayed the Moron case.
A criminal investigation about OxyContin, which has killed many people in this state. A criminal investigation into such a matter should be a priority of the health department.
I showed Ed Griffith, the spokesman for the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office, the Knox email.
Unfortunately, when you see some kind of paperwork or response or anything like that that would really indicate a lack of willingness to cooperate, it's shocking.
Figueroa says before Knox was fired, he was forbidden to even enter a pharmacy.
I was told as his supervisor to tell him, you cannot go to a pharmacy. You're not allowed to go into a pharmacy.
But that's what he did best.
That's what he did. Not only is that what he did best, that's what needed to be done. We were getting information that there was fraud at these pharmacies.
The State Department of Health refused requests for an on-camera interview. In an email, we were told it is not the policy of DOH, nor has it ever been, to prohibit DOH investigators from participating or cooperating with law enforcement on an investigation, and that there was no such order preventing a DOH investigator from cooperating with law enforcement. Then why the memo to Knox ordering the opposite? We never did get an answer to that. Meanwhile, the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office speaks highly of both Knox and Figueroa, saying prosecutors consider them both to be highly skilled and highly aggressive. Carmel, 7 News.
Well, if there's something you think Carmel should investigate, give her a call or send an email. The address clue@WSVN.com.